Hello everybody, today I'm gonna be talking about functions in JavaScript. So yeah, let's get into it. So, a function in JavaScript is a block of code that is designed to perform a particular task. When a function is executed or invoked, it's also like the calling the function, it's going to execute the code. So for example, I can make a function named example1. We are going to need brackets and curly brackets. I can console.log first function. Alright, but this is not gonna do anything on itself. If I go to the console, nothing is shown in here. So I will have to invoke the function or call that. And it happens like this. Example1, you're gonna take the function name, add a set of brackets and a semicolon. So now we are calling this function one time. So when I go to DevTools, it's gonna say first function. So yeah, if I copy this, now we are invoking the function a total of 4 times. It's gonna say first function 4 times. So yeah, that's the basic idea behind functions. Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. I'm gonna create a paragraph with the ID of example. And then I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna create let result equals function example. And these are going to be parameters 4 and 3. So what this line of code essentially does is that we are calling the function, we are assigning the result of the function to the variable result, and these two numbers are called parameters. So let's create the function. Function example, and then okay, we can't have the word function in a function, but we can say example function. Okay, we can't. Example1, that's gonna be the name of the function. Oh wait, function example. Alright, we actually can. Alright. Function example1 is the name of this function. Alright. Now I'm gonna get these values into the function. So 4 and 3. I'm gonna type A, comma, B. So that means that 4 will be assigned to A and 3 will be assigned to B. These are called parameters. Alright, then inside the function I'm gonna do a calculation. So I'm gonna calculate A times B and return it. So I'm gonna type in return A times B. So basically what's going on here is that we make a variable called result. We invoke the function right over here and we pass in 2 numbers as parameters. Then we have the function over here. The number 4 will be assigned to the A letter and number 3 will be assigned to B. And then we are going to get a value out of a function, so we're gonna return A times B. A is 4, B is 3, so it's gonna be 12. Now I'm gonna give you the proof, so I'm gonna use the paragraph that we created earlier. I'm gonna type in document.getElementById. The ID was example. I'm gonna change the text content into a template literal and a placeholder, and the variable is result. So there we go. And on the web page you can now see that we got the answer 12. So yeah, that's the parameters. So yeah, a JavaScript function is defined with the function keyword. After that, we follow it with a name. In this example, it's function example1. Then we put some brackets and curly brackets. And inside the brackets, we put the parameters, if we have any. And inside of the curly brackets, we write the code we want to perform, or the code to be executed. So yeah, function names can contain letters, digits, underscores, and dollar signs. So this is not wrong, but for example an @ symbol, that is going to cause an error. So yeah, and remember, if I change this function name, I also gotta change this. Okay, or we can use the dollar sign. Dollar sign and the underscore, they are the only symbols that we can use at the beginning of a function name. And yeah, we can't use any special characters in the middle, except for a dollar sign and underscore. So yeah, then we gotta invoke the function. We do that right over here, and we assign the value or the returned value into the variable result, and here we display the result. That's 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So yeah, we can also invoke the function with an event listener, for example when a user clicks a button, or when we invoke the function from inside of JavaScript like this, or it can also be automatically invoked, a self-invoked function. So yeah, so basically the return name gets a value out of a function. Now you might be wondering, why the heck would we use functions? Well, functions allow us to reuse code. So we can write some code that can be used many times throughout the program. And we can use the same code with different arguments and parameters to produce different results. So yeah, I'm gonna give you another example. So let's create a function to Celsius. We will accept F as in Fahrenheit, and then we'll return, this is the formula, 5 divided by 9 times Fahrenheit minus 32, and remember to add a semicolon. So we are putting the Fahrenheit inside of this function, doing the math and returning the value. However, we have not yet assigned the value, or the value that this return statement is going to return out of the function. We have to assign it somewhere. So let's create let answer equals, and then we will invoke the function to Celsius, and inside of the brackets we will say how many Fahrenheits we have. Let's say we have 77. And then we are going to add a semicolon. Then I'm gonna take document.getElementById, take the paragraph example with the ID of example. Then I'm gonna access the text content, and I'm gonna make the text content equal to the value, or this time it's gonna be answer. So it's gonna be 25. So basically we have a function. It takes a parameter, Fahrenheit. Here we declare a variable called answer. Then we invoke the function. We have one parameter, that's 77 Fahrenheit. Then we return a value out of the function. And this is the formula to calculate Fahrenheit to Celsius. And this is where we use the Fahrenheit value. Then we take this paragraph and change the text content of that to be equal to the variable answer. So yeah, that's another example. What about if we don't input anything? Well, the answer is gonna be none, which means not a number. So this parameter f, which stands for Fahrenheit in this case, it doesn't have a value. So when we return the value and we do some math, we are doing some math with a variable or parameter that doesn't have a value. So that's why the answer is gonna be not a number. Alright. How about if we forget the brackets? Well, it's not gonna go and run the code of the function. Instead, it's going to be returning the function and not the function result. So here we can see function to Celsius. It's basically returning us this. So yeah, remember to add the parentheses or brackets and then a value for the parameter 75, 76, 77. So yeah. We can also use a function as a variable, like we have done here, but I'm gonna give you another example. I'm gonna let, let's say, variable answer equals the temperature is space plus, then we invoke the function and plus Celsius. Alright, then I'm gonna make document get element by ID example, change the text content to be answer. Alright, so we don't have anything in there yet. We have to do the function. So function to Celsius f. Right now it's gonna say the temperature is undefined Celsius because we don't have any code inside of this function. So yeah, I'm gonna go and type return 5 divided by 9 times f minus 32. The temperature is 25 Celsius. So now it's gonna work. So as you can see, we have a bunch of strings and we have a function and another string in here. This is called string concatenation. So we are combining strings together. When we do that, we don't have to add the semicolon at the end of the function invoke. If we add that, the rest of these will be ignored. As you can see, I'm gonna remove the semicolon. Now it's gonna say Celsius again. So yeah. Okay, then I'm going to be talking about function scope. So functions create a block scope like this. So I'm gonna create answer. Let answer equals your car colon space plus type of car. Then document.getElementById example text content is gonna be equal to the answer. Your car is currently undefined. Okay, that's because the car variable doesn't have a value. Let's create a function, my function, and let car equals Volvo. And let answer equals your car plus type of car plus an empty string with a space plus the variable car. Then document.getElementById example, we will change the text content to be equal to answer. Then we gotta invoke the function. So, or actually I'm gonna remove this and call my function. So my function brackets semicolon your car. It shows me the type of the variable car. It's a string data type. Then it shows the variable itself, Volvo, which is exactly what we did here. Alright. So the functions create a block scope. If we were to declare these lines outside of the function, I'm gonna remove this. It's going to work. However, if we did this this way around, I'm gonna show you real soon. These variables have a global scope, so the function can see these variables and use them. However, the issue is that this line of text is only inside of the function. So I'm gonna get it outside of the function and I'm gonna put these inside of the function. So now you can see that nothing is actually happening. I'm gonna declare answer but not assign it. So yeah, right now this is not working, and that's because the variable car and the variable answer, they only exist inside of this function. So we cannot get the variable answer out of the function over here. So this doesn't work. The functions have a block scope. The reason they do have that is to avoid naming conflicts, because in a large program you are going to have a bunch of variables and functions and all kind of stuff. So you will be running out of names real soon unless we did if we didn't have the block scope. However, now I moved all the code inside of this block scope that the function creates, and now the program works as intended. So yeah, those are JavaScript functions. A pretty simple topic, but it might take you some practice to get used to these. But yeah, functions are gonna be really useful. And in the next episode, I am going to create a small little project to this series, and we will use functions and if statements in that one. So yeah, anyways, have yourselves a wonderful day everybody, and I wish happy learning to you. Bye bye.